Hey, Mr. Widmer here from Mr. Widmer's History. Welcome to Unit 10.7, the end of the war, the end of World War II. You guys be able to explain how World War II came to an end in Europe and the Pacific. Also, we'll have a Unit 10 review over all of Unit 10, lessons 1 through 7. Alright, here we go. First up, we're going to have a series of conferences to help end the war. Okay, like during war we had conferences like in Casablanca to see what to do to Italy. But this is the Yalta Conference, 1945. Yalta, Crimea, USSR. The Big Three met there. This is known as Big Three: Roosevelt, Churchill, and Stalin. They're known as the Big Three. All right, Germany was to be disarmed and divided into 4 zones occupied by USSR, France, Great Britain, and the United States. They would each get part of Germany, okay, to be divided up. And then also we give veto power for the big 5 nations in UN: US, Great Britain, France, China, and the USSR. Alright, and so the Yalta Conference, the big 3, divide up Germany, veto powers for big 5 and the United Nations. Alright, Russia granted 3 seats in the UN General Assembly in exchange for entering a war against Japan after Germany surrenders. So we're like, hey, Russia, you want to help us out when Germany surrenders, since we are kind of allies? How about we give you 3 seats in the UN Assembly and you give us support against Japan? Yeah, it didn't really much happen. Alright, Eastern Polish border was set to the advantage of Russia. So we're basically giving Russia all this stuff. We're kind of forming a superpower here. Okay? This kind of sets the tone for the Cold War. We're giving Russia this power that will come back and bite us when we go into Cold War next. And so we're just giving Yalta, we're just giving Russia more and more power. Alright? And with this power, Russia pledges with free elections. When this is all over, all the land that we have in Eastern Europe, free elections. They can choose whatever kind of government they want. They can choose the leaders they want. Free elections. Now remember that. Okay, Russia promises free elections in Eastern Europe after World War II. Alright? And also war crimes to be held after the war. This sets up the Nuremberg trials, which sets the, we talked about earlier, how it puts the leaders of Nazi Germany on trial for crimes against humanity. That's all set up in Yalta. Alright, next, FDR died in his 4th term in office, 12 years of being president. Alright, and his vice president, Harry S. Truman, becomes president, the only president from the great state of Missouri. He's from Independence, Missouri, and he becomes the new president of the United States, April 12th, 1945, on the death of FDR, okay, who was the longest running president ever was and ever will be. Alright, next conference, the Potsdam Conference, 1945, Truman, Stalin, Churchill, but Attila replaces Churchill. Alright, Churchill, Attila becomes the new Prime Minister of Great Britain, and so he takes over Churchill. Potsdam Declaration, we kind of talked about that. Japan to surrender unconditionally or face prompt and utter destruction in terms of the atomic bomb. And so you must surrender or face prompt and utter destruction. Okay, it's the Potsdam Declaration at the Potsdam Conference. Once again, a new big 3: Truman, Stalin, and Churchill. This time Truman, Stalin, and Attila. All right, it's going to set up a council to administer Germany. Who's going to be in charge of the 4 militarized zones of the new Germany? All right, after this war is over. All right, German people to be moved out of Czechoslovakia, Hungary, and Poland, all moved into Germany. We want to put all the German-speaking people, all the German people, all right, remember Hitler wanted all big German empire of all German people. We're going to move those people, that are German people, into Germany, okay? So German people is going to be moved into Germany. All right, Russia, yeah, remember they promised free elections in Eastern Europe. Yeah, that's a big bowl of baloney. All right, Russia now says, oh, those free elections, yeah, we lied. And so they're not going to do it. And what are they going to do? They're going to set up communist nations, Soviet satellite states, to, and it's just ridiculous. Okay, Russia lied. We give Russia all this stuff. They take it, thank you, and then they lie and do their own thing. So, knowing that the Allies were at Berlin, Hitler committed suicide April 30th, 1945. Day after him and his wife, Eva Braun, got married, and then they had a joint suicide pact, and they both drank poison and died on April 30th, 1945. You know, he knew that the Allies were there. He did not want to get captured. He knew what would happen to get captured. And so he took the coward's way out and committed suicide. Him and his wife both committed suicide in a bunker in Berlin on April 30th, 1945. And that really signifies that the war is definitely over. If Hitler's dead, the war is going to be over. Alright, so May 8th, 1945, Germany surrenders. VE Day victory in Europe. Woo! Alright, one front down, one to go. So Germany surrenders. VE Day. A big day, very big famous Life magazine photograph of the Navy man and his girlfriend, wife, his lady, kissing in Times Square. Very, very, very famous photograph. Alright, so June 1945, UN was going to form. Now this time, alright, the U.S. is going to join the UN. Remember the League of Nations that the U.S. created but never joined after World War I? Now we're going to redo the League of Nations and we're going to create the United Nations. And the U.S. is going to be a founding member of the United Nations. Alright, it's formed to encourage cooperation amongst nations and prevent future wars. Alright, then on August 15, 1945, Japan surrenders after the dropping of the 2 atomic bombs. VJ Day, victory in Japan. So in 1945, big year, World War II's over. The Allies win. Woo! And after World War II, the U.S. became the leading superpower in the world because it had suffered no wartime destruction. The wars fought in the Pacific, the wars fought in Europe, in Africa, not fought in the United States. And so we're going to become stronger and become the leading superpower. Alright, Russia comes up as well, the USSR, and we have what's called the Cold War, the USSR versus the United States. That is for the next unit, though. So World War II is over. 1945, U.S. wins, the Allies win, save the day. Alright, lesson review, end of war conferences, Yalta conference, the big three. Alright, Roosevelt, Churchill, Stalin. Germany was to be disarmed and divided into 4 occupied military zones. Alright, Potsdam Conference, Potsdam Declaration, Japan to surrender unconditionally or pay the price. Truman takes over as president, FDR dies. May 8th, 1945, Germany surrenders. And then August 15th, Japan surrenders. And in June 1945, United Nations is formed to encourage cooperation and prevent future wars. Alright, now a quick review of all of World War II. Alright, Unit 10 reviews. We have some time at the end of this video. We can do a review here. Plus, there's like a lot of videos, 7 videos. A lot of information to cover in World War II. So, let's have a little review, shall we? Alright, Lesson 1. Alright, Germany was in financial ruin after World War I. Political chaos. In large part thanks to the Treaty of Versailles and how Germany just got reamed and, forged World War I, and Treaty of Versailles treated them very, very badly, and it hurt them. And Germany suffered through hyperinflation, basically made their money worthless. Alright, Europe saw the rise of totalitarian leaders. Hitler in Germany, Stalin in USSR, Mussolini in Italy, Franco in Spain, and Tojo in Japan. Alright, Japan being in Asia. But still, totalitarian leaders around the world. People are just fed up with the way the world's going through a worldwide global depression. Just got off of World War. And we are disillusioned. And we're going to look to someone to lead us. And that is what happens. That's why totalitarian leaders, someone who has total control of all power, takes over. Alright, Hitler advances, takes over territory. The Allied nations appease Hitler and allow him to take Czechoslovakia. Remember, just like Hitler, little baby. Okay, here's a sucker. Now be good. Okay, Ooh, I want the whole bag. And he takes the whole bag. And so we appease Hitler. Don't cry. Don't get any more land. Here, you can have this. It'll be okay. Then he goes and takes the whole bag of suckers. And eats them all. Okay, he takes more land. Takes Poland, which really starts World War II. And Hitler just keeps taking whatever he wants. And we finally have to come in and say, okay, enough's enough. We got to stop you. All right, but we're not prepared at all to fight Germany and their blitzkrieg tactics. All right, so Hitler moves west and takes France. The only country standing in Germany's way is Great Britain, but Great Britain warded off Germany and at the Battle of Britain, and they never give up, never surrender. Germany's first loss in the entire war was against Britain. Lesson 2. Alright, America remains neutral at the beginning of the war. We're isolated, neutrality acts, we don't want to get involved. Alright, but December 7th, 1941, the date that'll live in infamy, we're deliberately attacked by the Empire of Japan in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, which the next day we declared war against Japan. Alright, and before that, we had these policies like cash and carry, lend-lease, alright? All age short of war is what Roosevelt called it. Alright, then we have a land charter basically says, Roosevelt and Churchill's like, you know this Hitler guy? Yeah, let's agree not to like him. Okay. And the U.S. goes all in for the war effort. Total war effort. Whether you're a child, whether you're a woman, whether you're a man, everyone, total war effort. Women became involved as well in non-combat roles. They did everything in the Army, Navy, Air Force, but actual combat. Okay, working women became represented by Rosie the Riveter. Yes, we can do this. We can do it. Alright, so many new Army bases were constructed, factories that went to wartime production. You just created many Liberty ships. These are cookie-cutter ships, all built the same on an assembly line, and created to give us many, many ships, especially if we're going to war in the Pacific. Alright, the key issue to war was the U.S. having to fight two-front war. We had to fight Hitler in Europe, and we had to fight Japan in the Pacific. It wasn't going to be easy. Alright, lesson 3. Things were not going well for the Allies at the start of the war. Winning the war largely depended on our ability to control the seas. Alright, which we'd be able to do when we cracked the Germans' code Enigma. Alright, so Germany used a tactic called blitzkrieg to totally annihilate their competition. Alright, totally annihilate Belgium, France, Poland, anybody got in their way. Alright, until they got up against Britain. Alright, because then blitzkrieg because Britain's an island, and they just had airstrike. So Hitler got, again, lost time in Stalingrad. He went too late. He did the same mistake Napoleon made. Just not a good deal. Alright, so Hitler lost this time in Stalingrad. German forces in North Africa, led by the Desert Fox himself, Erwin Rommel, and they lost. And so the Axis is losing quite often here. Alright, the Allies defeated Rommel's forces and defeated Mussolini in Italy, where the United States gave Italy an ultimatum. Hey, you either side with us or you and live, or side with him and die. They sided with us, and they captured and strung up their own leader. Alright, D-Day, June 6, 1944, the largest single invasion on the continent of Europe in the history of the world. Success! Large part because we got tricked Hitler. He thought it was going to be somewhere else, because we used phony tanks and phony planes and sounds and this shadow war. And we tricked Hitler, and he didn't give us all of his forces, so we successfully invaded Normandy. Alright, and that gave us a foothold in France, and we just kept on going through Berlin with that. Alright, last stand of Germany, Battle of the Bulge, we win. Alright, the U.S. helped. The U.S. has plentiful resources. Germany was on the run. Alright, the U.S. came in, and we had bountiful resources. That's what helped us win. Alright, Allies allowed USSR to get to Berlin first. This would have lasting consequences. Alright, next up, the Holocaust. Destroying the Jews, genocide, Nuremberg trials to put on involved crimes against humanity. We put Japanese in internment camps, not good. Atomic bomb, Los Alamos, the Manhattan Project. Alright, African Americans, Hispanics still get discriminated against. War in Pacific. Alright, dropping atomic bomb ends the war Pacific. Japan eventually surrenders. Alright, then the big three, Roosevelt, Churchill, Stalin, Potsdam Conference, Japan and the surrender. Truman drops the bomb to save American lives. That's it. Study history.